BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
In the past couple of days, news has been revealed that an Airbus A340 embarked on an historic flight down to Antarctica for the very first time. The Airbus A340 in question that flew to Antarctica is with High Fly. It therefore sports an all-white livery that I guess you could say is also partially iconic to High Fly. The flight departed from South Africa earlier this month, specifically on the 2nd of November, landing only 5 hours later in Antarctica. It was a 10-hour round trip at 2,500 nautical miles, and one that is historic, as mentioned, because of the nature of its destination. This has not been done before with the aircraft, and it's very, very exciting to say the least, but developments have really only caught wind in the past couple of days thanks to a press release from High Fly themselves. 9H-SOL, the specific A340-300 HGW, HGW being the high gross weight variant, took to the skies for this iconic flight. While, of course, on the surface this is any other A340, this one was specifically chosen for this flight as it was best deemed to have the capabilities required to deal with the extreme weather conditions found in none other than Antarctica. With 4 engines as well, it boasts a fantastic range, and it was chosen as the best option. So let's take a look at more of the plan that went behind this historic flight. The flight begins with your regular crew briefing. Still though, this is not a flight to say the big and expansive London Heathrow. At the end of the day, there's a lot more that goes into the preparation between crew to conduct a flight like this. And main focus centered around that of protective clothing that was to be worn by all passengers on board the aircraft when in Antarctica, and of course preparing the flight with all systems working. And that's where we're going to move into next, that being the systems. Very, very rigorous checks were conducted on the Airbus A340 prior to the flight from the pilots and more to ensure that every single component of the aircraft was working to exceptional standards. As at the end of the day, this is always required for any flight, but you could argue is needed even more so when it comes to a flight to Antarctica, with conditions being a lot harsher than any other airport this A340 would generally fly into. Following these crucial system checks being conducted right before departure, passengers were then loaded on around 20 minutes before takeoff. Then carrying 77 tons of fuel, the aircraft launched into the skies for its iconic flight. Pilots were helped with some lovely conditions in Antarctica, but of course that did not mean the process for landing was the exact same as landing into, say, Cape Town. It's very different from your regular airport, and that has to be taken into account when navigating and so forth. This took several months to prepare for the flight, and High Fly and many more within the aviation industry are ultimately very encouraged by the result of this, and that it was indeed an overwhelming success, and potentially the first of many. What are your thoughts on this historic Airbus flight? You can let me know down in the comment section below. I hope you do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care and do indeed be safe.